You've probably heard the statistics. 70, 80, 90% of AI projects fail. But that's not my number, right? That's their number. That's the people who don't do this the right way. Because the AI is not bad, the tools are incredible, and the models are getting smarter every month. So where's the failure point? It's not the technology, it's everything underneath it. So today I'm going to show you 5 reasons AI implementations fail, and none of them are actually about AI. Every week I talk to service providers who have tried AI, smart people, great businesses, right? The story's always the same. I tried ChatGPT, right? I tried automations, but nothing stuck. The outputs would be inconsistent, right? Spend more time fixing the output than doing the work itself. So they conclude the AI doesn't work for their business, right? But that's wrong. The right conclusion is their business wasn't ready for AI, and that is a massive difference. Maybe you have no documented processes, right? AI learns from patterns, and if your processes are not documented, then there are no patterns for it to learn from. Think about it. You hire a new employee, right? They shadow you for a week. They watch how you do things. They pick up on patterns. But AI can't shadow you. It can't watch you work. It needs explicit inputs. The written processes, the structured data, the clear instructions. And so when ChatGPT says something inconsistent, first question you ask is, were the inputs consistent? Is the prompt the same every time? Is the context the same? Did I feed it the same structured information? And almost always, when something goes wrong, you find that the answer is no, right? If you're winging it with different prompts and different context and different expectations, and then you blame that AI for being inconsistent, all it's done is mirrored what you did right back to you, right? Without a good process, AI has nothing to work with when it is figuring out how to join your team and be a member of your organization. The AI has no long-term memory unless you build one. Every conversation with ChatGPT, to a certain extent, starts fresh, right? Your automations run without the context of what happened before. So your business knowledge, your client preferences, the past decisions that you've made and learned from, right? What worked last time, none of that is accessible to AI unless you've captured it somewhere and intentionally provided it to AI. I talk about memory systems a lot on this channel, and this is where it connects, because if you haven't been logging your client interactions and your project learnings and your decision rationale, then the AI has no institutional knowledge to draw from. It's operating blind every single time. But the businesses where AI works brilliantly, they have captured years of data, CRM notes, project logs, decision records. That's what the AI feeds on. If you don't have it, then you're asking AI to make decisions with no context, and of course it fails. Now, you might be automating the waste in your organization. And this one hurts because people automate tasks that shouldn't exist in the first place. You're manually sending a follow-up email to every lead, so you automate it, but you never ask, does every lead actually need to get this email? Is it even effective? Are the people that are receiving it qualified? Right? If that's happening, you just automated waste. You automated a bad process that will get you sorted into spam filters, right? So all you've done is produce garbage at scale. That's why before you automate everything, you have to run it through this check. Is this system wasteful? Are there unnecessary parts that don't produce value? And are we just doing things a certain way because we always have? The most productive thing that you can do before implementing AI is to eliminate tasks, not automate them, eliminate them. Then you can automate some of what's left. Now, if you have no quality standard, right, AI is just going to implement that lack of quality or lack of standards, right? Humans might be inconsistent. That just means that the AI that they use will be inconsistent with greater speed and content. So look at your last 10 emails, the ones that you wrote yourselves, right? The quality varies based off the time of day, the day of the week, or the subject of the email. That's no good, right? When you hand work like that off to AI, then all you should expect is the same inconsistency that you had there, right? This is the degradation of your quality. AI won't fix that unless you are aware of it and you consciously make an effort to counteract it. You must have a quality standard before you go to AI. So the fix is to have a pre-delivery checklist, right? Define what good looks like. Every output, human or AI, held to the same standard, then AI has a really clear target to hit. Now, one of the most common patterns is when someone sees a demo of an AI tool that looks amazing, they purchase it and they try to cram it into their business, but it doesn't fit. And then they blame the tool. And then they buy another one. And then they repeat the process, right? So this is why I say tools without systems just make noise. The tool isn't the problem. The problem is you started with the tool instead of starting with the problem. The right order would be to identify the bottleneck first, document the process, check for waste, set the quality standard, and only then do you pick up a fancy advanced tool that fits the problem that you've specifically identified and defined. Foundation before scale, every time. Now, have you noticed something here? These 5 reasons that we've talked about all map onto your foundation systems that we always discuss: process, waste, degradation, and memory. When you come to AI, it sits on top of those 4 systems. And so when you skip the foundation and jump straight into AI, then it's like building your house on the sand, and it will collapse every time. Just give it time. And so the 70%, 80%, 90% failure rate that you see in these AI studies, right? If you would have fixed that foundation, you're probably going to be in that exceptional group that makes it work. And if you don't, then you won't. So you want to know if your foundation is ready for AI? Then take my 8 systems scorecard that you can find at the link in the description. In just 5 minutes, it'll tell you exactly which system is your weakest and where to start fixing it before you touch any AI